Welcome back to Exposed. We just finished talking about Facebook, and this is a good segue. What I seen on Facebook was that there was a breaking and entering at a Mohawk Trail Longhouse. What do you guys feel about that?
Oh, there was nothing released really. Yeah, it was. I think it's just all hearsay. But you tried to call the peacekeepers, right?
I did. I talked to the peacekeepers. What they told me was that it's too premature to release any information right now. But what they did tell me is that there was, in fact, a breaking and entering on January 6th, around 3:30 in the afternoon, at the Mohawk Trail Longhouse, and they are investigating. There have been arrests, but there have no charges have been made, and that's why they can't release any information otherwise. Breaking and entering is a detention offense, he told me, so it's not really finable. Even if it was finable, it would have to go to the Crown, and then they would choose a punishment.
Still, it's kind of like disappointing to hear.
Yeah, it is.
No, I was pretty pissed when I heard that. Like, I mean, there's a time and place for everything. I don't know what they were doing, but what I heard they were doing, shouldn't have been doing it there. I don't know. That's just like totally disrespectful. I don't even know like what possesses anyone to even go to that extent to be like, yeah, let's do this. Like, it's a great idea. It's like, no, it ain't. Like why would you do that? I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen again.
I think a lot of people were really upset with that because, I mean, it is the Longhouse. It is a sacred place. Not sacred, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
It is. I mean, like, it's a place.
It's a place that you don't disrespect.
Exactly. And they just went ahead and did that.
Well, it also brings up the issue of, you said you found this out through Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny how, like, these social networks become, like, when you hear something goes on in town, you, like, check your news feed. It's like, that's where you're getting, like, literally, like, the news in town.
It's like a news network.
Yeah, it's like who read, like who needs to watch the news? Like, just go on Facebook.
But it also, like, then leads to, well, there could be inaccuracies.
Yeah.
And I know this incident at the Longhouse popped up on my news feed, and they had, names of individuals that are allegedly, the ones who broke in.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, like, brings into questions of, well, they had, like, is their privacy now, like, do they have...
Yeah, like, their privacy still matters, regardless of whether they did it or not, like, till the extent that they're actually charged with something,
Yeah, it's like the, innocent until proven guilty, I guess. I don't know if they were, like, caught in the act or whatever the situation, but it still brings all those questions, and also if they're minors, like, Youth Protection Act.
Yeah.
And I know, like, well...
And whoever discloses that information, they probably don't realize, like, oh, I'm going to put it on Facebook, and they could be held responsible for, sharing information that shouldn't have been released.
I think they put it on Facebook just to get other people riled up. So
yeah.
And I think that's a way of bullying.
That's
what we were talking
true.
about earlier.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah,
I mean, they obviously they think they have good intentions because they see this act as, like, being bad, but I mean, those people still have, rights and, yeah.
Well, speaking of, traditional things, it's midwinter right now, and we were discussing earlier about different, like, religious holidays and stuff, and yeah, we all know, like, if you go to school outside of town. Well, everyone in town, we all know that, yeah, you can take work off and you can not go to school to be at the festival because that's where you should be, if you're not at school or at work. But what happens if you go to school outside of town, or you're in university somewhere, it's like, is it still, like, accepted to be excused, as a religious...
I know there's a lot of... teachers and classes that they have really strict policies on, like, absences, and like in my department where you can only miss 3 classes, and that's like without like a doctor's note or something. So I wonder if this is something that they would excuse.
Yeah, but they give off like they let people, Jewish people take
Exactly,
off
so,
Jewish holidays,
you know,
and Christian people take off Christian holidays.
It's like if you can have your Christmas and you can have your Easter, then I'm gonna have mine. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I see it.
Midwinter.
Yeah, like you know.
I guess we're just wondering if there's any viewers out there that have had difficulties with teachers and that issue, and we'd like to hear from you, because I don't think that is very tolerable of the teacher or the school if they do that. So don't let them.
But speaking of religion in schools, like, do you think schools should be like secular institutions? Like well, I don't know where that would even start. Like elementary. Well, I think when you're like in elementary school, you should probably be exposed to like as much as you can. You know, that's where you develop your sense of identity. But like when you get to high school and university and stuff, do you think that schools should be secular? Like, do you think that religion should have like nothing to do with?
I think at that point you should be able to choose whether you want to participate in like a secular society, because like you could go to KSS and be surrounded by traditional ways, or you could go to a Christian school. I don't know what's the name of one of the Christian schools.
Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart. You could go to Sacred Heart and you could like be surrounded by Christianity, or you could go to I don't even know. Is there a Jewish school?
I'm pretty sure like Trafalgar is one of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, also those are private schools, including KSS is considered like a private school.
Yeah.
But and definitely in Canada, across Quebec, like religion is already out of schools. They made it like a couple of years ago, and they even took it out of the schools in Ganawage to, you know, when you used to have like religion class, and you could either learn about like Ganusasne and stuff like that, or like they go into the other room and like learn about it's because I never participated, so
Yeah,
like
I remember that.
like you get prepared to make like your first communion and stuff like that, and they took that out of school. So you have to, if you want to be make your first communion or confirmation, you have to go specifically to the church. So it's already been taken out, but I think it's like to what extent are some schools like where it goes as far as like not allowed to having like decorations that say Merry Christmas and stuff like that. Like I think that's
that was in elementary school, right? Like
yeah,
like that's a little too far, you know.
but like right now that's allowed.
Yeah, but I mean, if it wasn't, that'd be kind of a.
I went to Indian Way, so I didn't have to deal with any of that.
No.
Actually, I don't remember what happened. I was too young. Wasn't paying attention to anything.
It's a shame, Hogan. It's a shame.
I know.
Yeah. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more Exposed.